Okay, this is CNFAIL video number 5. Should be the last one. It's going to cover what I call the introductory phrase. Remember, all of these rules, the CNFAIL rules, are comma rules. And if you can simply internalize these 6 rules, you can really ensure that you won't look like the office idiot. You won't make the mistakes that will give you a bad reputation from the emails that you send out. These rules also help you have some complexity in terms of your syntax, which is your sentence structure. Everything when we write, every word, every punctuation mark is a choice and an opportunity. And when we go back and revise, we want to do things that make sense for writing and reading that are often different than speech. The introductory phrase is one of these structures. First, let's cover the comma rule. Set off long introductory phrases with commas. So you put a comma after long introductory phrases. That's what that means. Set off long introductory phrases with a comma. So in your mind, you must be saying, well, what's an introductory phrase, right? Now, first, let's go look at the example. Here, after walking to the store and buying a drink, the introductory phrase is bolded. After walking to the store and buying a drink, it's bolded, okay? That's the introductory phrase. It's an incomplete thought. How do I know it's an incomplete thought? I could say, it is true that after walking to the store and buying a drink. Doesn't make sense, putting the it is true that in front of it, so it is not a complete thought. I have a comma after it because the rules call for a comma after a long introductory phrase. Now, how do I actually know that it is a introductory phrase besides being just an incomplete thought? An introductory phrase is at the beginning of a sentence, right? Hence the word introduction. But you know it's an introductory phrase if you can put it at the end of the sentence without a comma and the sentence makes sense. So notice, after walking to the store and buying a drink, if I put it at the end, after walking to the store and buying a drink, and it makes sense, we went home and watched TV after walking to the store and buying a drink, then it is an introductory phrase when it's put at the beginning. Now, this next chunk of language is going to be very confusing until you really understand the rule. These 2 bulleted points right here are me explaining the rule using the rule. If you can put it, meaning the phrase, at the end without a comma, so if you can put it at the end, if I could take it off the beginning and put it at the end and it makes sense, put a comma after it when you put it at the beginning. So this comma is here. It's after the introductory phrase. That's the it. That's the reference for that pronoun. So notice what's bolded. If you could put it at the end without a comma, notice that that is right here. If you could put it at the end without a comma, put a comma after it when you put it at the beginning. So I can flip that sentence. I could say put a comma after it when you put it at the beginning if you could put it at the end without a comma. Now I know these 2 bulleted points are very confusing. When you write a comma rule using the comma rule, it's going to be confusing. But the example should really help you see it. After walking to the store and buying a drink, I can stick that at the end. So when it's at the beginning, I got to put a comma after it. Often, introductory phrases will start with a preposition. A preposition is any word that'll fit in this blank. It was above the box. It was in the box. It was on the box. It was around the box. It was after, of, before, between. If you start a sentence with a proposition, you are probably writing an introductory phrase, and you don't put commas in front of prepositional phrases. If the prepositional phrase starts the sentence and it's long enough, then you put it. And we're doing this for clarity. Okay? That's why we're doing it. If I took the commas out of this, after walking to the store and buying a drink, we went home and watched TV. It's not clear when the after ends. But if I put the comma there, now I know after walking to the store and buying a drink is the phrase, is the thing, we went home and watched TV. That's why it's there. You put commas in for clarity. You put them in so you demonstrate that you know the rule. You put them in so you have some syntactical variety. So you're not just writing period to period to period to period. That is the introductory phrase rule. And you want to make sure you put periods if you have introductory phrases, or you write some of your sentences with introductory phrases. You want to have some introductory phrases, and you can do that by looking for the prepositional phrases that will often be a signal. So any preposition I want to start with, like if I start with the what, let's start with above the rafters in the garage, I found my old bed. So that would be the same as saying I found my old bed above the rafters in the garage. You don't always want to write period, 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 and you want to be able to have some of that syntactical complexity.